What's up, Rylan? Okay. I think everything's up. Rylan, you wrapped up a pirate-themed birthday for the little guy. Built him a little playhouse-style ship, and that's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Let us get some paint on the page. Trying a fun but slightly like little risky paint combination. Doing some plum purple and neon green. Because why not? I think the trick will be going a little bit light on the plum. Expecting a real TMNT vibe. And when I say light, you know, whatever comes off the roller is what I mean. Oh, always interesting to see who picks which turtle. Picking your favorite turtle's a little bit like picking your favorite Batman. Says a lot about you. Cool. Okay. So we will let those dry. And see what we can come up with. If I can find a pen and the D100. There we go. Let's see, actually, almost forgot to even call out 731. That gives us a month straight. It's probably my longest streak to date. So feeling good about that. Left hand page means we do the front inside cover prompts. Let's see here. An 88. Fresh dreams. Fresh dreams. Pull that up on the screen there. Fresh dreams. So, not a stale dream. Something brand new. Something fresh dreams. I mean, a dream, view that as a positive or a negative. Okay. All right, nice and simple start. We were kept awake at night by visions of blank. We were kept awake at night by visions of blank. Visions can be warnings. Visions can be mundane. All right, they could be bad memories. They could be regrets. Visions could be hopes, literally hopes and dreams, right? I'm going to start with one here. We were kept awake at night by visions of the wizard's power. We were kept awake at night by visions of like the city under siege, maybe? We were kept awake at night by visions of the wizard's power, by visions of the city under siege, by visions of, I mean, if we wanted to do something from the past, the elements, fire, rain, or even like primordial elements, you know. Um, visions of okay, let's do that. It's a good one. We were kept awake at night by visions of, I mean, there could be, let's do something like kind of greedy, something great wealth, like vaults of endless treasure. Hey, Tess. Yeah, there've been some later streams. You know, being scrappy, streaming when I can, because if the thing that I want to make sure I do is you know, do a daily once a day, so I take whatever time I can get. But mornings, I think, are ideal. Kept awake late at night by Ryan's stream. Sorry about that. Visions of Ryan's stream, technically. Well, I mean, maybe we could do something with that. Like a psychic visions of a I'll just say a cult of psychics. That could be a D&D equivalent of live streaming, I suppose. The hidden road, I like that. A hidden path through okay. Yes, it's deep in the night for you. I understand. Won't be long till the sun's up. All depends what you mean by long. Technically, that's true for me too. Goes by in a flash. We were kept awake at night by visions of the wizard's great power, the city under siege, the primordial elements converging, vaults of treasure, a cult of psychics, a hidden path. If there was some sort of message that couldn't be deciphered. Hey, what's up, Bono boy? You made a huge power system for your world? That's fun. Could do like a cryptic. How about a cryptic druid warning? We are kept awake at night by visions of yeah, how about something, how about like a happy memory? being kept awake with like nostalgic, by visions of, saving the town, driving away, the blah, 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 something of, maybe it's just that simple, defending the town. All right, that gives us one table. We'll build the second one. Fields of Wheat Like Gladiator. It's such a good movie. I need to watch it again. It's been a while. All right. So, first table, first sentence. We were kept awake at night by visions of something strange. It was these visions that allowed us to finally destroy blank. We were kept awake at night by visions of. These visions allowed us to finally destroy blank. So we want to forget about the visions that we already wrote down. Those don't matter now. We want to think of things that, okay, now that we have the last piece of the puzzle, we can finally do that. Well, in this case, destroy. Person, place, thing, idea, something weird, turn of phrasey, conceptual, right? Could destroy our fears. We could destroy certainly the villain's plot. Could destroy a bridge. Could destroy something natural and large. To finally destroy like the ward, right? The how about the tower's defenses? It was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy maybe like a ship, something that's moving. Let's do like a Mad Max style, like a war machine. The orc. I'm gonna call it the orc war machine. Let's do that. It was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy. So we want to destroy some kind of invading. Well, we've got some kind of spell, a trap, right? the trap, how about like maybe like there's an object that's powering a curse. We'll just say like the cursed. What's something that cursed amulet? We were kept awake at night by visions, and it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy tower's defenses, the orc war machine, the cursed amulet. Is there anything... I'm trying to think of like a competing, like, you know, like a rivals something that isn't necessarily violence, but like the you know, I'm imagining like a competitor, an inventor's how about just that, to finally destroy our competition. That's a good turn of phrase. Destroy our competition. Finally destroy like the town's last hope. Bit of a turn there. Could have... What else? What else needs to be destroyed? Destroy the dam, destroy the... You know, the dam, the bridge, the ship, the workshop, competition, tower defenses, the orc war machine. How about, what if we want to destroy every last workshop? What else do we want to destroy? So we've got the tower, tower's defenses, the orc war machine, the cursed amulets, our competition, the town's last hope, every last workshop. Tax fraud. Oh, destroy the evidence. The evidence against us. That's another one that makes it morally gray at best. Probably should have some sort of monster. I'm gonna say the gang of wares. Okay. We got it. Now all we have to do is roll on it. 2 d8s. Just roll until we use all of them at least once. All right, 1 out of 6. We were kept awake at night by visions of the wizard's great power. And it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy every last workshop. So visions of the wizard's power. And that allowed us to finally destroy every last workshop. So presumably the wizard's workshop. I mean, could it be as simple as, you know, a mage sort of taunting the party with all of their great accomplishments, and then the party's able to sort of use clues of each of those visions they've received to actually locate these kind of various HQs and destroy them? Maybe. There are worse ideas. 7 and 5. We were kept awake at night by visions of a cryptic druid warning. And it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy the town's last hope. So this is villain behavior, right? Villains destroy the last hope, whatever that may be. And it was a cryptic druid warning. Visions, cryptic druid warning. I mean, you know, I don't know if like prophetic dream visions can be intercepted and kind of like a radio signal. You know, somebody in the middle stumbles onto it, but the idea that a call for help would reach multiple sort of, you know, aware individuals, and then and maybe one of those would not be so inclined to help. You know, the druids asking for help because they're in dire straits, and that being intercepted by someone and then used to like crush the druids, assuming they were the town's last hope. It's kind of a neat idea. 6. Actually, I'll do the 6 and a 2. We were kept awake at night by visions of a hidden path. And it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy the orc war machine. Okay. Well, that's pretty neat, right? So the orc war machine, you know, how is it always, you know, how are we unable to find it, stop it? It disappears maybe into the desert. And the vision is of like a pathway through the mountains that there's sort of like illusions blocking it, like some kind of old Batman TV show. And so in this case, you know, the visions would maybe be coming from somebody on the inside, somebody who wants to help the party stop whatever the orcs are doing. Two and 7. We were kept awake at night by visions of the city under siege. And it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy the evidence against us. So it might take a couple hops, couple steps to make sense. Visions of the city under siege. I mean, you know, assuming that the party is blamed for the attack in some way, and then they sort of are, it's almost like, ooh, this would be kind of neat. This would be kind of a neat thing to introduce. You know, you play a session, and maybe there's something peculiar that happens. Maybe something is knocked over. This is actually a fresh take in my mind on a time loop. And then a terrible thing happens, and the party gets accused of being responsible. You know, they're the most dangerous people in town, or they let somebody in, or it was their friend who did it. And because they broke that thing during the session, because something was like knocked over or disturbed, they're able to possibly at night sort of zip back to that night and play it again, or rather explore that time and space again to see what they missed. And you could lock it down and say you can only explore the things that, but I mean, you know, it's fun if it becomes like a captured, you know, you can't influence anything in or out, but you can learn. You can revisit that space and you can learn. That's my favorite idea here so far. Four and an 8. We were kept awake at night by visions of vaults of treasure. It was these visions that allowed us to finally destroy the gang of wares. So I use wares as a shorthand for, you know, were whatever. Were wolves, were tigers, were bears. Who cares, really? What type of wares? Don't care about wares. I mean, I guess it's almost like it's like a setup, right? Like the party is aware of these vaults and can provide that information either directly or anonymously to a troublesome gang. They go to raid the vaults and the party tips somebody off. Like, this is how we get rid of them. Let the city guards take them off our hands. Three and 1. We are kept awake at night by visions of the primordial elements converging. Yikes, and it was these visions that allowed us to finally destroy the tower's defenses. I guess, like, is it research? Is it actually visions from, like, the creation of the material plane? You know, these things converging, and maybe it gives some extra insight into, like, we recognize the nature of the spell that's warding, or the defenses that are warding the tower relate to those primordial elements. That's how old the magic is. That's what needs to be targeted. Maybe. Primordial elements converging. Or it could be that the convergence location is actually the tower. Maybe the mistake in understanding the tower situation is to think that it's the tower being defended, but really it's the land. The location is being defended, and a wise wizard just built their tower there to play off of those natural defenses. Violent or a natural disaster like a flood or a forest fire. It's a fun idea. I can do a 5, an 8. And a 3 and a 4. 3, 4, 5, 8. Neither of those. Got a 5. I cannot do both. I can do a 5 and a 3, though. We were kept awake at night by visions of... Wait, no. I can't do a 5. What did I say I can do? No, I can. I can do a 5. My dots are throwing me off. We were kept awake at night by visions of a cult of psychics. It was these visions that allowed us to finally destroy the cursed amulet. Cult of psychics and a cursed amulet. I mean, it'd be kind of neat, right? If being sort of pestered, tortured, I guess, by, you know, sort of if you're touched by a psychic, it's like some of that sort of stays with you, and like if the party is at odds with this cult of psychics, and so they're being sort of communicated with in all these strange ways, but then that'll gives the party like a little bit of it like rubs off that ability, and then they start hearing other people, and as a result they hear that the cursed amulet does speak to them, and that's something that they weren't able to hear because they weren't even thinking of speaking to it telepathically, and so that opens up a whole new set of ideas. Last combo, no roll needed. We were kept awake at night by visions of defending our hometown. And it was those visions that allowed us to finally destroy our competition. I mean, the true villain behavior of this, right? Of like, yeah, keep having dreams suggesting that we defend the town. But that's given us some ideas about how we might need to increase defenses, or maybe how we prevent these heroes from taking over. What a genius plot that would be. Cool. I like it. That's a fun set of tables. Some neat ideas thrown in, and I'm very excited to be drawing on this vibrant neon green and purple. Now I just need to figure out what exactly I'm going to draw. Not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. Take another look at the list. Kept awake at night by visions of, we've got the wizard's great power, the city under siege, primordial elements, vaults of treasure, cult of psychics, hidden path, cryptic druid defending our hometown, tower defenses, the orc war machine, the cursed amulet, our competition, the town's lost hope, every last workshop, the evidence against us, gang of wares. There goes YouTube chat acting up again. Big surprise, big surprise. Grizzly, you absolutely love my books. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't even know if you're talking about these that I draw in like this or the zines. Either way, doesn't matter. I'm glad you liked them. Thank you. Have I ever run a Glabrizub? No, what is that? I don't know what that is. I'm curious. A fiend, they prey on people who seek power, manipulate them, kind of like Wormtongue, but more devious and smart. Nice. I like all of that. The latest fiendish thing that I really want to sit down and do. I did a bunch of work building a kind of outlining this idea of a fiendish contract puzzle, basically. And I have not yet finished it. But I want to. Thanks, Rylan. Catch you another time. Hey, Willow. How's it going? Hey, Seth. That looks epic. Well, thank you. It's a thing I do where once we come up with a set of tables, I sort of draw them up in, something a little bit more visual than just writing it down. Oh, thanks. Seth, how long have I been making stuff like this? So the stream itself started with this this book, and we're coming up on actually 1 year ago here in September, which is scary close. Hey, what's up? Okay. So it started here, just with this kind of journal that I wanted to make use of. And we just started writing tables and coming up with sort of basic prompts for ideas for D&D. And I did that for a while, and then that turned into these zines, which are sort of collections of I think the best ideas we've had. And then I sort of rewrite them and build them up a little bit stronger and group them into like monster encounters and magic item encounters, and those are up on my shop. And then there's a lot of emergent stuff in this process. So that was in the last year, and then a little over, I don't know, probably 2 months ago, I found, actually longer ago than that, I started trying to draw kind of with Sharpies and paint and figuring it out in another book, and then I found this form factor, which I liked a lot better, and just started to do this every day. various different. And so this is the first one. This is the first one that I filled, and that filled up just a couple of days ago, and I'm on to book number 2. So really not that long. You know, I've been I doodle, I make little drawings of things to put into like videos. It's kind of how it started. I think if you go back, I have a playlist of all of my daily encounter streams over on YouTube at least. And I'm pretty sure most of the thumbnails for a while just had like little post-its that I would draw on because I wanted something, you know, I wanted something more than just like this sitting on the table. So I started putting little post-its of things, and then that kind of developed into some on-screen stuff. I made little kind of animations with them. You know, stuff that I used, like, because then I released the zine, so I started drawing in them. So then I made like, you know, stickers. I've used those before. And then I just started, I like practicing. I don't exactly know why I'm doing this, but it's a fun, I think it's a more fun way of sort of demonstrating what these tables are that we're making than just to have like the text in the book. And it's also a great way for me to practice, practice drawing different things. Yeah. So not very long. I'm still getting comfortable sort of thinking of myself as making this kind of art. It's all, you know, it's just experimentation. Like there are definitely some days, like today was iffy, even though I'm a sucker for Ninja Turtles. So purple and green had to do it. Even though I was like, I don't know how legible it'll be, but it's working out just fine. Yeah, I have a YouTube. It's the same. Yep, same as the same name. So I multi-stream because I'm a little baby streamer, right? So I multi-stream on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, everything all at once, basically. I am everywhere. All right. Thanks a lot. You have a good one. Thanks for the nice thoughts. Hey, what's up, Bond of Flame? Was I the creator working on the Goosebumps encounters? If so, how's that going? I am. That's me. That's actually very Goosebumps colors. It's good. So I definitely haven't put that down or anything. Probably another one or two coming here in the next few days. I tend to kind of bounce back and forth between sort of making videos that get me some traffic, right, to the stuff that I make and the things that I want to do. And then I switch back to the other foot of like actually making stuff, you know, making game stuff. So maybe that'll get a little bit easier. I'm trying to launch my Patreon here this week, so it might that might help ease things a bit. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Okay. I'm going to switch up the stream and play a little bit of Fallout 2. Try to make some progress on my run there. So I think the stream will like shut down briefly and then come back, but I'll be right back. Do a little bit of a shuffle here.